folks, welcome back to BEG Wrestling, baby. We are here after a great weekend of wrestling. We got a lot to talk about. Penn State lineup seems to be set, or is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. The Keystone Classic, I don't know. Maybe some upsets, maybe not. But, boy, a lot of wrestling this weekend. What'd you think?
Well, I think a lot of people out there were rooting for Facundo and rooting for Cochran because that's one scary lineup now, folks. Nothing against Facundo, nothing against Cochran. I love them both. And I personally, Zach, I don't know about you, but I'm almost at the point I wouldn't be surprised Facundo. I mean, he lost all that weight. I wouldn't be surprised if he transferred out.
Well, you saw him. Did you see the picture of him sitting on the side mat after the loss, and Kale sat down beside him?
Dude, was that classy?
And, yeah, it kind of just gives you a little bit of an insight into Kale's mentality there. But
well, and let me explain why I'm saying that is I just like Kasak's style better than Facundo's. He's more fun to watch. And I think Kasak's ceiling's higher than Facundo. I could be wrong. I was a little disappointed against Drexel. I thought this guy's going to be he's got to be as hungry as a bear. We're going to see a brand new Facundo, and I didn't. And quite frankly, you know, it looked kind of similar at the Black Knight. And, like, you're rooting for the guy. I'm not rooting against him. And obviously, we're talking about a very good wrestler here, but you know after what Kasak did last year, how do you not fall in love with that guy? I mean, what he did, the 7 wins in a row. I'm all Kasak. Now, as far as Barr and Cochran, that is a tougher situation because, you know, here Cochran paid his dues, worked hard, kept his nose down, and you want to see a guy like that bust through, finally make the lineup. A glorious dream book story that we can tell about the kids for years to come. However, we're talking about a big dog. No, you know what we're talking about? A big hammer in Josh Barr. A big hammer. And, you know, I don't want him upset because I know the potential of Barr. Now, he might be a little undersized, and that's going to be tough at that weight class, Zach, but I think he can place at that weight class. No, I don't think and if you're asking me straight up, Penn State fans, I think we got 7 that are absolute major threats to be national champions. I think 3 of the weights, I don't know about Davis. If he wrestles like he did at Big Tens last year, I'm not going to be surprised for him to pull through and maybe place or something. But, you know, I've expressed how I get frustrated with him rolling around to his back, baseline defense. I won't keep repeating myself. Please, Braden. Anyway, that weight class along with 97, which I don't know if Josh Barr he's going to be a smaller 97, and there's some horses in that 97.
Yes.
I mean, Buchanan, obviously, but AJ, and you could just keep going. There's some major horses. I think Barr's going to pull off some upsets and all of that. But finally, 285. Okay, I'm going to admit it. I've said I'm not cheering for the dude, but watching him against Gadiali,
boy, we were a little off the mark on that, weren't we?
Well,
my goodness, Gable came out and made a statement, didn't he?
I was hoping that he's rusty. Gadiali pulls off a Kassar.
Yeah, not happening.
No, that was all put to bed quickly. Obviously, you know the thing about Gable, and a lot of people say, I'm so glad he's back. He's so fun to watch. I don't think he's that fun to watch. I really don't. He's so good at his lateral movement, his quickness. He explodes. He's great. His balance. I mean, athletically, we're not used to seeing a big guy this athletic and all, but he kind of does the same stuff every match.
Well, he's not a thrower or a pinner. Or he's not a highlight
can't you
reel
pin
guy.
Somebody once in a while?
At speed, yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like a big throw and a pin to get the crowd. And we don't get that. So, yeah, I'll take an Andonian any day over a Gable. Or, quite frankly, half of Penn State's lineup I'll take over Gable as far as fun to watch. Now, granted, especially our fantasy wrestling league, they're all on me about watch this, Tay's going to take him down. And I looked like a fool, didn't I?
Well, so did I.
Tay's good,
speaking.
though.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
That's the scary thing.
I know.
Tay's really good. And what he did to Tay is yikes.
What Gotti Alley did to Feldman. Whoa.
Yeah.
But hang on, Gable. If you don't mind me bringing up one last time, where were you when the United States needed you? Where were you?
We could have used him these past Olympics. That would have been nice.
Yeah. So, I'm a little
bit.
bitter. I won't even get into any of the other muck, but I'm bitter about that.
Well, he said it looks like he's going to come back to L.A. 2028, but
the other thing, and I'm glad, Zach. You know what? I've always loved your confidence. I've had to cock it down. Zach, let's be a little more humble. Zach.
My whole life you've been trying to call me. You've been my governor. I told Kelly the other day, man, I've had a governor. I've been grateful enough to have a governor my whole life. It was you when I was growing up, and then ironically, I lived with Corey, who my brother could not be the more exact opposite of me. He governed me, and then I met Kelly, and now Kelly's governor. I'm very grateful I've never gone a period of my life without a governor, because you're right, it could have gone way off the rails.
Yeah, but I will say, at least I never heard you talking in third person. I don't like listening to someone talking in third person. I think, whoa, aren't we a big old bag of chips over there? I mean, please, Gable. Something about that just rubs me raw when somebody talks third person. But hey, Gable, I can hear the people now. He deserves it. What have you done, Mr. Truck Driver? Well, I drive the truck. Wayne Beaver drives a truck down that road.
Yeah, and when Wayne wants to back that thing in there, he gets it done, right?
Wayne Beaver backs that truck right in there. Okay?
Yeah, a little strange. Folks, we're going to have Dom Zaccone calling in here later, but...
All right.
Did you touch on how, Facundo's going to be transferring out? He's going to be the next Bear Claw, or no? You avoided that topic?
Well, I hope not. I hope he's more like I really do. I hope he's more like a Patrick Kennedy. Loyal, not concerned about big bag. Believe me, Facundo's got a brain on him too. And I'm sure whatever degree he's getting, he's going to be just fine financially. But, that's tempting. I know that's tempting. But I'm telling you, long term, like to have a mindset like Patrick Kennedy, that's going to pay dividends, in my opinion. I mean, just for his own conscience, he's got to feel good about Iowa will embrace him for the rest of his days.
Oh yeah,
you watch.
That was like a magical moment for Kennedy, man. That statement win.
Yes.
He's my favorite Iowa wrestler right now.
And believe me, I'm a Patrick Kennedy fan too.
He reminded me when he said that, it reminded me, dude, I need to just put on my work boots and go to work. Just shut up and go to work.
Oh, that was beautiful.
I mean, that was inspirational to me,
and
Kennedy.
You want to be a presence on. You want to have maybe your brand. You want to build your brand, but there's classy ways to do it, like Patrick Kennedy's statement, and then there's unclassy ways to do it, like the split and the double birds and whatever, the kissing and stuff. Of course, I'm not blasting it because we'll take anything we can get in wrestling. We ultimately want attention to our sport. And
well, Angelo was only doing that in response to Etchmandia, who did it first, right?
Oh,
after he lost to Parco, he kissed the Iowa bench. Yeah.
Is that?
That's why Angelo did it back. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Well, I got Angelo Ferrari. I want to get into that. Maybe we should get into that right now before I bring up a little bad news.
Okay.
But here's something I got to ask you about. Okay, Angelo has already used 2. He's got 3 more left. We're talking about the 5 freebies for a true freshman. He's got 3 left. Now, I think it's you. I don't see Iowa needing him against Rogotsky at Ohio State. I see Tom using the final 3 against for the Soldier Salute to give him as many matches as possible. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Penn State up against Starachi.
Oh, baby, dude. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
And then Oklahoma State with Plot. And either way, please.
We've been talking about the wrong Ferrari versus Carter this whole time.
I know. The thing is that am I wrong? That's what's going to happen, right?
Dude, and I said Angelo's better than AJ. This might be. Could you imagine?
Well, all I can say is Carter took any doubt in my mind away with that Kekheisen win. I mean, Kekheisen was in deep, and sometimes it's not double flips with a half gainer or something like a Jason Nolf type of wrestler. We're talking about a very strong, fast, solid, positionally sound. He's a 4-timer for a reason. But how fun would that be? Ferrari against Starachi. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait. And I will say this. I am concerned on the other half. Okay, my thinking is Gabe Arnold used his red shirt last year. That is going to be their 84-pounder, Gabe Arnold. But Gabe loses some important wins that would help his ranking because they're going to use Ferrari.
That's true. That's a good, interesting point there, yeah.
So what's going to happen, in my opinion, is Gabe's going to end up his ceiling for what he could possibly be ranked is going to put him up against in the quarterfinals at Nationals against a Foca or a Berge, a Bennett Berge, or even a McAnally, who's very, very tough. That's going to happen in the quarters. And we're not talking about someone that's a big 84-pounder in Gabe. Now,
yeah, he's a little undersized.
Could he beat any of them 3? Maybe. But maybe not. That's an awfully hard quarter. And what I'm saying is it may affect him, how high up on that podium Gabe Arnold gets, just because he doesn't have these big wins that Angelo is going to be wrestling. Of course, he wouldn't get the wins anyway. They'd be losses. They'd be losses to Strachey. They would be losses to Plot.
So it'll help his ranking, but maybe not help him at the end of the year when it comes to experience against some of these top guys.
Yeah, either way, that is.
Tom's playing his cards. I trust Tom, man. I trust Tom to know what he's doing. I got to
give it to Tom. He's really showed some coaching these past couple of years. Game day coaching, especially against Iowa State. That's got to drive them nuts.
Did you get any team or injury updates from Terry?
Yes. And first off, that's into the bad news segment. First off, there's rumblings about Shapiro might be done.
Oh, I said it. I said it when I saw it.
Now,
I'm sorry.
That's not confirmed, folks, but from some people that kind of in the know that don't look good. And please, that's actually good news. Let the man heal up.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't mind me getting a little deeper on that, BEG was the only place that was blasting that trainer from way back when
we did last year.
After he got the concussion, after the trainer basically didn't even take it as serious as we thought he should have, and he kept him wrestling. Who knows? All I know is, you see stuff like that, it makes you angry, because not just for the quality wrestler that we get to watch in Shapiro, but just the young man himself.
Yeah.
And the whole concussion thing. So our prayers are in that area.
Well, listen, go watch the Helen Maroulis interview about her concussions, dude, how serious they can be. I mean,
yeah.
I hope affected her career.
Well, the Miami quarterback, I thought he was done. I noticed he's back.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm a little overcautious here or something, but still, I'd rather have Shapiro out to get this solved and then please, Mr. Trainer over there in Cornell, I don't care if you tough it up with their hurt knee or hurt ankle or shoulder. Be as tough as you want to. When it comes to the head, let's start using our brains here. Be very, very cautious. That's the last time I'll yell at the Mr. Trainer over there.
When it comes to the head, start using our brains. Yeah, come on, that's pretty simple.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, right?
Yeah, but, everybody else was kind of quiet on it, too. I wish everybody else would have joined BEG in blasting what we just witnessed.
Yeah.
Someone that obviously got a pretty serious concussion. What? You're sending them back out to wrestle? What? Come on now. Come on. Wrestling, there's a lot of smart people in wrestling. Can we act that way?
It's a little different than Tom having Teamer try to tough it out with a hammy, can we get back to that? And any updates on Teamer?
Well, I was talking, Terry made a post and it kind of talked, a mild hammy is like 4 weeks. First off, Teamer makes that post. On the surface, I see that post and my take is that's bad news.
What's the post?
Post says something like, I'll be back.
God willing, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, if this was a minor thing, I'm not even making that post. Are you? I'm not even. I would be saying, this is going to be short. I'll be back soon.
Yeah, it does tell me it's going to be a little longer. Soon. It does indicate, it would tell me it's going to be longer.
Yes. Yeah. But Terry wrote and said that it's for a mild hammy, we're talking 4 weeks. For a more severe one, we're talking 6 to 8 weeks. Torn from the bone, it's definitely a medical red shirt. Now, I had a girlfriend this happened to once.
She got a torn hammy?
No, I left her and she got torn from the bone. And I'm just kidding.
And how long was that recovery?
Pam, I'm just kidding.
Recovery process.
She got torn from the. No, I never. None of that ever happened. We just barely kissed. But anyway, no, we're hoping that this isn't bad. But if it is bad, and it will have an impact if he's out for a while, just for his conditioning, and all of a sudden, I can see the KSAC stock just rising.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean.
And there's others
Pyro
too.
out, Teamer out. Wow.
Yeah, there's others too. That's KSAC went in to be the 7th Penn State member who has a serious chance of a title. Maybe the least of the 7 might be Bartlett. With he can't solve that Mendez puzzle.
Yeah. Who would have thought that?
And quite frankly, he hasn't solved the Alirez puzzle yet either. But anyway, we're praying for both Shapiro and Teamer, and that's hopefully not terrible news, just temporary bad news.
Who does in Teamer's absence? Terry did say he assumes who's going to be plugging in there.
Rothchi,
that's right.
Yeah, and most likely is going to cover 57, which he'll be a small 57. Now, also Terry mentioned like Victor Voinovich. What's going on with him? And Terry was speculating that he wore that big brace on his knee. I wonder if he got his knee fixed. Because and I don't understand this about wrestling. Why can't you coaches just come out with
injury reports?
Yeah, injury.
Aren't they required?
I don't get that.
In football, they're required.
Well, I want to hide his knee problem. Well, he's going to have a brace on anyway. If I'm going to target the knee, I'm going to see he's got something that's, please, a little over the top with all the quieting. I've seen the old, the Terry, no, it was the Tom and the Angelo press conference. And a guy asked a simple question, well, how are you going to do that? Or what areas do you want to improve in?
Yeah, improve. And Tom or Terry?
Tom's, don't tell him, man! Don't tell him! Don't tell him! Dude!
What? Dude. What? You know what? That just gives more it gives more credibility to that video I made with Tom, that mock video with Tom beating up the the reporters in the background.
They're frightened to death of that guy.
He was mad to get it. He was almost in the bathroom, dude, to take a pee, and he heard that question. He turned around and said, "No."
Anyway, we don't know about Voinovich. Miguel Estrada I think he won that Grandview, and he looks promising. He lost to Rachi 4-3, so that might be another one. But he's really small too. So either way, Iowa's kind of hurting there, but not majorly, but they're hurting against the big dogs. They're hurting.
Yeah.
No, that was the other Voinovich that lost 4-3 to Rachi. Estrada, he's just small. Really, he's like a 141 pounder. But we'll see what happens there. And we want all the big dogs in, so we're rooting for Teamer to be back. But if Teamer somehow misses, or this makes a significant impact, that's going to get close. I hate to say this, Zach, but this is starting, and it's a long season, a lot of injuries, cap, all that stuff. This is taking the shape of no suspense as far as the team title. And that's when things are the most fun. Starting next year, I'm here to tell you there will be suspense. This might be the last year.
For you Penn State fans to just coast.
Yeah, this might be the last year where we can take a breath. We don't have to freak out for every time we miss a pin here or miss a bonus point over there. But
yeah, because you imagine if the Bassett Jacks crew, Drayshawn Ross crew ends up there in Oklahoma State. Oh. I know, Ross, you mentioned this. Looking at Iowa, you feel like, but
there's so many storylines. The recruiting war that's going on, and you see teams like Illinois that, folks, they're good. They're dangerously good.
Yeah.
And they got some studs. And somehow they've done this without throwing huge bags of money out. You got to give it to some of these programs that are putting together solid, very dangerous teams. And, they're doing it without big bucks. I'm sure they got some money flowing there, the scholarships over here and there. But for the most part, I got the utmost respect for Illinois. Could you imagine if Ed Ruth was actually still? Maybe he'll be back.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know what's going on.
Well, reminds me of that comment John Smith made after the duel, Cy-Hawk duel. He said, "Shout out to the donors of Iowa." Let's just be real here. Shout out to the donors.
I know.
That's the best team I've ever seen in Iowa.
And I was watching what Stalemate podcast, and the one guy said, Bob, Bob and his team. Well, Bob's the one that gave all the money. And fellas, he said, "What do you mean, Bob?" And he said, "Yeah, that's, when I'm addressing a company, I don't hit every level down. I usually just talk about the very top guy, Bob." Bob. Anyway, that was a fun little dig. But we'll see. And I'm rooting for Edmund Ruth. Not only for Edmund Ruth personally, because us being Ed Ruth fans, we care about the whole family, but also for Illinois. I love seeing these programs coming up and shocking people. Now, I got to give it to Cole and the job he's doing at North Carolina, because they lost 17-14 to one very dangerous Illinois team, and Cole's bringing North Carolina up too.
We predicted that.
It's amazing what good coaching does.
Yeah.
It really is. But of course, we just had the major upset with not major, but really it wasn't an upset because he's ranked higher. But Lachlan McNeil wins in overtime over Kanan Webster. And I was wondering, is this kid ever going to lose this Kanan Webster? Now, I seen PJ Duke throwing him across the mat here and there during the summer, but other than that, this kid's been near untouchable. Well, Dagwan McNeil did it, and although that was controversy too, but it was, wrestling's so cool.
Can I just say, you said PJ Duke going to Penn State. I'm just going to predict I want to say, I am personally rooting for Jackson Bo Bassett to go to Iowa. Can I just put that on the record that I'm personally rooting for that for entertainment purposes and just, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They're not going to Penn State. Boring. Oklahoma State, come on. That's the diet version Penn State. Boring again. Iowa. Could you imagine the top social media guy in Jack's going to Iowa with brands? Oh, my goodness, dude.
Well, in all seriousness, I mean, they can continue to go out and buy transfers to keep up with the big dogs. And right now, the big dogs are obviously Penn State and Oklahoma State, because what David Teller's doing over there is scary. It just is. And let's not forget about some of the others, the Ohio State. Let's give the Ohio States their respect. And there's a couple others too. But in all seriousness, it is important that Iowa wins some of these upcoming
recruiting battles.
Yep. Yeah, it is important. And in a way, I guess I'm rooting for it too. I said last show, I personally want Ross to come to Penn State. I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't want one team to get all three either. Of course, then we got the Rainey brothers too. You could say there's 5 of them, or there's more than 5 really. But I don't want one team to get them all either. I like suspense in the team race. Although I can live with something like what happened last year and what appears to be in the process of happening this year. I can live with that.
Yeah, of course you can. Maybe the rest of the country's not wild about it.
Not yet. Yeah. But anyway, daggone, there's a lot of young.
All right, I'm gonna tell Dom to call in. So you got a couple minutes up before he.
Okay. The only other thing is I want to give a shout out to Kolat and the job he's doing at Navy. I watched his podcast. It was with Mike Mao at Athletor. Athletor podcast. Another great podcast out there. Very entertaining, but Kolat gave this story. He's just a kid yet. He might be 15, 16. He goes to where's that place where the whack job killed Dave Schultz? Foxcatcher.
Yeah.
So he goes to Foxcatcher, and he's there training with Schultz. But he's not friends or anything. He's not really talking to him. There's a lot of respect. But here this high schooler's there with all these, the world's greatest. At one point, Dave Schultz says to Kolat, "Hey, kid, come over here." And Kolat thought, he's going to chew me out or something. And he says, "Show me that front headlock." He liked how Kolat was doing that front headlock to a way that he allowed himself to be coached by a high schooler kid. He's seen it. It was different than how he did it. He liked what he seen.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yes. And I thought, wow, what an example for every wrestler out there.
Yeah.
You're never too great to learn something, even from people that are below your level. And
the sports are always evolving.
And that's the thing that Kolat praised why he was America's greatest wrestler. He was constantly had an open mind to just growth. And that's awesome. I love stories like that.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we got welcome Dom Zaccone to the show. Not his first time, but
my guy,
Mr. Wayne, Mr. Zach, how we doing? I like how you were just mentioning about that story, because I think a lot of time coaches can capitalize on wrestlers and kind of learn from them a little bit to grow themselves. You know what I mean? Even though you're a coach, you can still learn a little bit and grow at the same time. So that was really cool. I joined in at that time.
Wow. Dom, you're right in the heat of battle here.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
oh yeah.
First off, you're just looking at high schoolers here. We've never reached your level. How fun must that be where you're at right now? You pulled off that big ranked win last week.
Jacob Van D at the Duel on the Diamond, man. How was that, dude?
It was a fun, interesting experience because it was such a cool event outside in the kind of 3 weeks into the season. We had some weather conditions out there, so obviously not the best stuff, but just to stay, locked in and get it done. We have such a hard upfront schedule, not only with wrestling these tough teams, but also, all the traveling that goes along with it and being on the road, for 3-4 weeks. It's definitely tough, very upfront. So staying, mentally sharp and strong and believing in yourself is super big in that first, few weeks.
Yeah, you guys had just had a tough match against Minnesota, and you just flew out to Chicago, right? That's something we don't really talk about or ever think about, is the travel. For
the
wrestling.
element we don't understand is you're also pushing yourself mentally at the schoolwork, and all that's going together, and it's kind of, we don't get to see any of that. That's all in the background, and for us fans, we don't realize that part. It's the combination of the two together. It's got to be tough,
Yeah, there's so much going on. That's why wrestling's so much fun, because obviously you want to go out there and win every single time, but some days there's going to be days where myself or another wrestler aren't on their best day. They're not going to be on their best day, and trying to fight through that mentally and physically, and you pull off wins and stuff like that. That's where the hard stuff gets going, and that's how you get better and kind of move up the ladder a little bit. But any given day, you know what I mean? You guys could have good days, bad days, beat up, and then next thing you know, you're beating up people as well. So, it's a very long season, just trying to stay through it, train as hard as you can throughout this whole time.
And to add a whole nother element to it, how you do on your weight, is that another separate battle?
So weight, it's always going to be a battle. How you make it, how you feel. Would you rather feel, everyone is different in their own ways and how they make weight and manage weight. Now we got the holidays coming up, and Coach Sentes was just talking about it. A lot of guys are, you know what I mean? This is where you see either a rise or a decrease in wrestling performance. And I think it's about staying really locked in to your diet and to yourself. And a great thing that actually Parker Keckheisen said last year, he said, you know what I mean? If you really want to eat your Thanksgiving dinner, fast for the whole morning up until that dinner. Make sure you're getting your workouts in. After this, I'm going to go get my workout in. So just kind of staying accountable to yourself is a real important thing while you're by yourself.
Okay, I don't want to hog up all the questions because I got 10.
Go.
You go. You want to shot?
I mean, I was just gonna ask, man. Yeah, it comes down to this discipline, man. And Thanksgiving can't be as enjoyable for you as a wrestler as most people. You plan on spending some time with your family at all?
Yeah, so I'm actually at my house. I'm in my room right now from when I was younger. My little brother picked me up from the airport. But a lot of people talk about the food and stuff like that. Me and my little brother, we're gonna have steaks on Thanksgiving, and you know what I mean. That's how we get down. Kind of enjoy ourselves. We have a little bit of a break here for wrestling till the 21st of December. So, if you were not smart, you'd be the person that would blow up and get super big and eat all the junk food. But this is a great time to recover and train. You know what I mean? So if you could really, really capitalize on the 3 weeks that you have to train as hard as you can while recovering as much, not worry, watching your weight, but you know what I mean, getting the best out of your training. Is a super big important part.
I got to ask you. Okay, let's get to the meat and bones here. All right. Now, we've heard Shane Sparks talk about, well, maybe he broke up with his girlfriend and stuff. Dom, have you ever taken a bad loss or a bad outing because you and the girlfriend have been fighting? Let's get the truth from one of the contestants right now.
I think it could definitely have a mental factor over your performance and stuff like that. That's, again, where it comes down to mental toughness. You know what I mean? A lot of the times, and I've experienced it, maybe not a heartbreak, but, it's kind of a heartbreak of losing a family member or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot could be going on.
But do you launch
how you attack it.
Do you launch into a speech at the beginning of the season? Okay, sweetheart, look, Okay, I'm about to start my wrestling season. I don't need any of your crap during the season. Okay, so no crap. You go into one of them speeches.
I mean, you gotta get your focus. You know what I mean? You can't have those distractions. Coach Sentes says eliminate the distractions as much as possible. So you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, hey man, talk about distractions. Like you're back home, man. So it's for an extended period of time here. Do you have a facility that you go to train in? I mean, you talked about this is an opportunity for wrestlers to get better or get worse during the discipline here. Do you have an area that you just go and train?
You know, so we got the dungeon downstairs. It just consists of a treadmill and a couple weights. So I'll pick them up, put them down. But I'm fortunate enough to have Anthony Moulton, who's a teammate of mine, live in the next town over. So
Nice.
we'll be at one of the high schools or something like that, training a little bit through this. So I am very fortunate enough to have him and some coaches that are very, welcoming to the college athletes, especially when they come back for the holidays. So when you're in Chicago, there's a lot of facilities open, ready to welcome you in with open arms. So it's really awesome.
Now, do you have like every other uncle out there and every old high school friend you ever had? All of a sudden, everybody in your life is a coach. Hey, Dom, I noticed you're doing that stand up, but if you put this arm right here, you probably have it more. Does that happen a lot?
No, not too much. I think they just kind of like watching and enjoying what like kind of like a higher level wrestling looks like. Because a lot of the time, you know what I mean, you might see it on TV, but when you watch it in person, it's a different aspect, especially the way someone trains. It's different sometimes going out there competing and showing how much you got. But definitely seeing from a training aspect, let me tell you, everyone is a national champ in the training room. But going out there and showing it's a different thing. So I think a lot of people really do enjoy the training aspect.
I gotta ask you, or just to find out if he's on the same page as us. Okay. Now you can't name any of your teammates, so nobody from Campbell. Who is some of the funnest college wrestlers that you enjoy watching currently?
Currently, out of all athletes, like all teams.
All teams.
I honestly would say I do like the way Parker Kekkaisen attacks. I think it was so underrated last year, his performance and how well he actually dominated. He is just insane to watch. And some of these dudes are my age and even younger, so it's crazy to think about stuff like that. But he definitely stands out to me a little bit. Who else?
How did Gable look? You just saw him. I mean, up against Tay this past week.
He's very big, very fast. You know what I mean? It's so the points, you could score so many points nowadays in wrestling. So it's hard. You make a little few mistakes, it adds up. You know what I mean? It happens to all of us. It could be a very close match, but the scoreboard might say different. That's why I'm saying any given day, someone can get the best of you, and the score might get ran up, ran down. That he got the better of Tay that day, and I think Tay knows what he has to do now to close that gap. He felt him. Gable is, he's looking big. I'm gonna be honest. He is looking big and fast, but once you feel it once, then you're able to.
There is a game plan. There is a game plan. There is a game plan. And
what about you guys? What was what's been highlighted out for you guys so far?
I mean,
in these 4 weeks,
there's a ton, but with this Gable, I just got done saying to Zach that there's a bunch of others I enjoy watching more than Gable, because Gable does his thing. He's great at it. Maybe the greatest heavyweight to ever be, with his lateral movement, his speed, his explosion, his balance. But you're not going to see him doing some really fun moves, pinning people. You just don't see it. Now, I made this bet with my other son that somebody will be within 4 points of Gable before the year's over. And they're all making fun of me right now. Oh, Dad, you're a fool. No one's even going to be close. Dom, I swear he's going to have a close match. That's how things work out. I know he probably took the history of rock and roll or something as his major over there at college. He's not really going to college, is he? Zach?
I don't know about that.
He's got to be.
He probably
He's got to be
graduated.
taking some sort of course or something over there.
I don't know.
He's got to take some class. He's got to take some.
He's got to
Yeah.
be taking some. Okay.
I heard that's one of the funnest classes you can take, though. The history of rock and roll. Wow. Wow.
Oh, man.
Dom, I got something for you, man. How about, because I'm big in these Ferrari boys, and they always do the little extracurricular. You saw Angelo give the kiss.
Yeah,
when
he
can we
looked
expect
very
to see
impressive.
some- He did.
Yes.
He did.
Yeah,
but
he
when
did.
can we expect to see some of those celebrations out of you after some of these big?
Hey.
It's funny. I've never been a celebration guy in my life. Just kind of the moment goes so fast and enjoying it. So maybe I know a few of my teammates do get into the celebrations and stuff like that a little bit. I might get a flex here or there. I might have to give a maybe at home for senior night. Maybe a flex to the crowd or something to say.
I'm gonna come up with a celebration and send it to you, Dom. And if
You know what?
after
I
a
take
big-
that back because I hit one at the baseball field.
Yeah, I thought
it
you
was
did
funny.
something there.
So our trainer Nick was telling me, he's like, you won't hit a baseball out of the park
Yeah.
like you're faking it. I was like, you know what, Nick, I will. and the best thing was, I think when we were inside, Love It was wrestling. And he hit the baseball right back, and I was like, "Oh, man, he's
You
probably
see, I didn't
planning
see that
one."
because I was watching live, and they after it moved the rain delay, man, because I was waiting for the claw match at intermission too, and then the rain delay happened, and they cut the live stream. But yeah,
For the claw, they cut the live stream.
yeah, so you had to go back and watch it after the fact. Yeah, but the live stream ended with Sparks announcing it. I was very disappointed. But I was watching your man. I was pumped when you pulled that off, Dom.
Hey, Dom.
Let's go, baby.
Bash Mania, he likes to use the term "my guy." He's one of my guys.
Yeah,
Zach and I have proclaimed you as one of my guys.
I like it.
Your two biggest fans right here.
That's right, baby.
And
You got the shirts made yet? I might have to purchase a shirt.
No,
the
listen, man.
BET
I
shirt.
need to send you some shirts, man. You did us the favor of announcing that whole entire.
I was
duel.
so impressed with you and Zach. I will run the camera. Let's go get some streams. I want to hear you two calling a wrestling match, and let's have it happen.
Dom, we have a plan to
Whoa.
get
You're
some
gonna-
live streams.
Mr.
so.
Wayne, you're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to fight Levi for that spot on the camera. He was.
That's right. And he
That's
was
right.
good.
That's
He
right.
did a
Levi
good
on the
job.
camera.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I'll be
He was, pretty
sideline
impressive over on that
reporter or
camera.
something.
yeah. Levi did
Oh,
that,
you-
and Dom did that. Both of them, they had about 30 seconds of training preparation.
Dude,
And-
that whole
30
thing.
seconds.
I was actually blasting. Big Ten just had a telecast. And
Yeah.
I said to him, I'm not even joking, or I'm not saying this because you're my son and I want you to feel good today. I enjoyed Dom and you more than I did these two announcers. And here they're announcing Iowa versus Iowa State.
yeah. No, I had fun. Dom, we're gonna be doing
Well,
that again. I'm telling you right now.
It is a lot of fun. And a wrestle-off is such a tough scenario because they're both your teammates. They both have strengths, weaknesses.
Yeah.
The match is going to be close regardless. So kind of knowing who is going to do what in those matches is unpredictable. You know what I mean? And you were just talking about Gable having a close match. It's so common for wrestlers to open up matches super, super big in the beginning half of the year, but before the pressure gets on with the conference schedule and NCAAs itself. You see a lot of matches, even though you might be such a better wrestler, you see the matches really, really close in the gap a little bit. Even you might have got tech fault the week before. Next thing you know, you're going into overtime. It happens.
Yeah.
Pressure gets on. Big moment, big stage.
Well, I can
So,
imagine what the Iowa practice room's like, and to that
Well,
point. Yeah.
as he's talking, I'm starting to get a little greedy because I want more than Dom. I want the entire Campbell team to be my guy.
Yeah, I know. Dom, how is the
I think
state
they
of
would be
Campbell?
more than
What's it
glad.
like there? How's
was
the
that?
whole team doing, man? How's the whole Campbell team, the culture doing?
It's good. We're a family. That's what we've been preaching recently. Family. And right now we just got our head focused on getting better. You see a little rocky start to the year. It happens. And we do it on purpose to really, because that's what we're going to see at the end of the year. And we're not
I like that.
going to see it so much in the beginning
that.
or middle of end of the or middle of the year. So really hitting it hard, and it's good. It's good to get beat up like that a little bit. Not just some of the top ranked dudes on our team, but also some of the dudes that have never been put in that fire before.
Yeah.
It kind of shows that, hey, I'm wrestling out there with these guys. You know what I mean? I can
Well,
wrestle out there with these guys still. So
what I'm seeing is
we're just getting better.
Campbell is leading right now. I love the minds that are at Campbell right now with these outdoor festivals. At the football game, we got camels walking in over here. We got a parade going over there. Dude, I like the thinking there. And, it's like, let's spread our wings a little bit, wrestling, and let's get creative. And Campbell is showing examples of that. I love what's going on with Campbell.
Yeah, I think a lot of schools are getting into it now. I think it was Citadel that did it out on
a boat.
The ship? Yeah, the boat.
Yeah, an aircraft carrier.
Wow.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. And
very,
I
very
see
cool. There's a whole bunch of different ones. Theaters. I think Missouri did in a theater one year.
Yeah,
like a big
Northern
theater.
Illinois
Like
doing
that.
it in the football stadium. I think maybe Northern Illinois doing a. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean,
Well,
go ahead.
Go on. I was gonna say one of my favorite was Battle at Bragg the first year, and the big hangars were open, and it started to rain inside. It was the first ever rain delay for a college wrestling match, and I thought it was super, super funny.
Well, the second happened last week then, right? At Campbell?
Well, that was
second rain delay.
I wouldn't even say rain. It was I think the humidity just got the slickness of the mat, and the conditions were bad on the mat. They were very, very, very hard and rough to plant a foot and push off. It wasn't doing good.
Why didn't they do? They should do wrestling in the snow. They play football in the snow. Could you imagine? Yeah, different elements, different stuff. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just get one of those or the heaters. Put the heaters on the mat.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know, but no, I'm all about it, man. And do you guys have anything scheduled unique upcoming?
No, I think we're traveling out to Florida here at the end of the month in December, and then we hit up a few tournaments, a few more matches, and then it gets into our Southern Conference schedule. And then we always say it, once you hit that January time, it flies. That back half of the schedule, it flies by. So I'm just kind of trying to enjoy every single moment of my last college season and stuff like that, because it doesn't really hit you until that last season. Even thinking about last year, it's like last year I was like, oh, wrestling forever, but until the last season starts and hits you, you got to appreciate it a little more.
This is the obvious next question. Dom, will you take BEG along for the ride for this whole season? Can we keep in touch and just check with you how things are going along the season through the highs and lows and that would be fun.
We need a whole camera crew, but yeah, it would be cool to vlog it a little bit. I think that's what the people have been doing. The new hip style vlogging. If you don't know what that is, video
think about
logging.
This, man. You guys got me thinking. Yeah, if you're willing to do something, Dom, I'd be all about it, man. Let's have some ongoing season insight into your brain, what you're going through.
Yeah,
I'm sure we could get a couple guys too to kind of tag along, hold the phone up.
Let me explain something as a regular fan, Dom. Like, we've never been in that world. We love that world. We watch that world. We're fans of that world. We
want to know more about that world.
Enthusiasm. But this is an inside look that I am interested in. And I'm sure other fans are just like me. And very, very interested in such a thing.
And it depends on the team too, and how strong that connection is in that team. Because there's years where you got a really strong team with that connection, and there's years that's not. And for example, this year with Save Campbell Wrestling, you know what I mean. We probably have one of the strongest bond teams with who we're traveling with and who we're competing with as a whole. So we have fun when we're out on trips. We laugh, we goof around. When we have to be serious, we're serious. You know what I mean? There's times, but we try to just be relaxed.
No, you
not worry about
you
too
called
much.
it a family, man. You called it a family. That's a little different than when you have like 6 transfers in that are getting paid, like some of these other schools maybe. But
and the thing is and this is a theory I have, something I notice. You can expand on this maybe with your own personal life. I can always tell, like when I always said state champ moms of state champs. You can tell as soon as you're around the mom. They're not the lovey-dovey, huggy-wuggy. Like, they got a little grit to them moms, and you can see it. Now, you are with your baby mommy. She's got some grit. How about your mom?
Kelly's real gritty.
Is your mom got
my mom is a sweetheart. She is so nice.
Well, that was
so outgoing.
Why do you think Zach turned out like that?
Mrs. Zaccone is very, very tough, though. She is a tough woman.
See?
Yeah.
She's got the toughness in her.
Yeah.
Well, Dom.
Well, like Spencer's mom. You've seen Spencer's mom. You know, she's got some grit to her. And all of a sudden,
she was
things
also
are coming into focus.
She was also a high-level athlete, too. You know what I mean? So
I know. I know.
I saw her smash glasses in one hand one time. It was unbelievable.
Wow, that's below the belt.
Not me. I tell you, I'm only good at wrestling. That's about it.
We'll take care of all that. Yeah, I mean, you can stay on the good side. We'll get down and dirty with all the out of line comments.
Yeah, if we can set something up though, I think it'd be fun to kind of tune into Campbell Wrestling.
Yeah, Dom, I definitely want to do that. I tell you what else,
with the new coaching staff this year. I mean, it's a lot different from previous years. We got a whole new coaching staff. Well, not a whole new, but 2 guys added on, 2 guys that left, and kind of building that connection and bond, because usually you have that bond throughout 3-4 years with the coaches and all that stuff. So having the mixture of everything kind of working together, it's different and fun at the same time. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to think about this. We're going to talk about this, and we're going to figure something out, on an ongoing basis. Dom, I also want you to text me the address and your shirt sizes. I'm going to send you some we got to get you some BEG shirts, man.
Yes,
so let me know that. And hey, man, you're home for the holidays.
And talk to your teammates. Make sure they know about BEG, and maybe they could join you.
If anyone else
next
wants
time
to
you join us, and we could, I could. Finally,
you could crack into their minds a little bit.
Yeah, I could give Tay
we'll get some
game plan we need to take down Gable.
No, brother.
I got that game plan.
Yeah, he's got the game plan.
I got the game plan. I shared it already with my fantasy league.
It never hurts to have some of these wrestlers too kind of get a little bit uncomfortable with you know what I mean, speaking and talking either about themselves or what they got going on. It's good every now and then to let people kind of know what you got going on and stuff like that, what you're doing, what you're training.
Well, I know this at the Claw event, I sat and talked with Tay it was like 7-10 minutes. He didn't know me. Nicest guy in the world. He sat and talked to this guy. A lot of times, you get a big fat guy over. It's like you just want to blow this guy off. What are you even here for? What are you even here for? Not Tay boy. He was totally respectful. And then as soon as we got to talking, he thought, oh, this guy knows at least a little bit about wrestling. And
hey, Tay can talk your ear off for at least 20 minutes. Trust me, when we're in the car together traveling, you'll hear Tay talking.
Let's get a vlog of you and Tay in the car driving somewhere, huh? How about that, man? So
you guys would have a very, very good laugh at some of the conversations we have in the car.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
Yes,
that's what I'm talking about. But Dom, hey man, I want to thank you for coming on. You're at home for the holidays. Tell you and your family happy Thanksgiving from BEG Wrestling, and we're gonna figure something out, man. Again, I'll text you after this so we can get your address.
Sounds good. Thank you, and same to you guys. And thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming on,
a privilege
dude.
coming in and talking.
Thank you. Hey, watching every year match, expect to win.
There you go.
There you go. Expect to win.
There you go.
Yeah.
Words of advice there.
Every week's another week to get better. So
that's right,
you guys.
There it is, man.
That's right.
Hey, have a good holiday, and we'll talk again soon, man.
See you, Dom.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
See ya. All right, well,
that was fun,
folks. That was fun, and boy, that was a nice little insight into Campbell Wrestling. But
daggone,
And we got more to come, folks.
Yeah,
I'm gonna close this out. You got final thoughts? Any missing topics you didn't cover?
The last thing I want to say is we had some. I want to congratulate you on. Okay, we've had some people say, you got audio problems. You got audio problems over there. You got it solved, don't you? It's a matter of.
Well, that's
no, it's coming.
Put the cart before the horse here.
It's coming. We will have the audio. We've had some audio hiccups here, there, and granted, I'm looking at this.
Yeah, did you watch the Jake Paul Tyson fight on Netflix? They had problems.
Yes,
so
I know. I noticed that.
Come on.
And I'm looking at what looks like a instrument panel on a 747 or something. Here. How in the world? Anyway. I'm telling you, folks, we will absolutely get it ironed out. Now, we had some other people. We had another guy or two that says, there's too much yelling going on over there. I can't stop that. I can't stop that. I don't want you to stop that. I like enthusiasm.
And that's our show, dude. That's what we do.
I can't cog it back in. And every time I want to
Here's
yell.
what we are, though, folks. We are moving to headsets because a lot of times we get so moving. So we're moving to headsets, folks, to keep the mic in front of our face.
This is me, and it is a little wacko at times. But I've been doing this for 20 years, way before any podcast. My wife will tell you I was like a crazed person when Penn State was on the TV over there, and we get a big win. You'd think I just won the lottery.
It's funny. I was going through my old pictures, and to that point, I saw a picture from 2018. I had a podcast set up for us to start this. I had it all set up in an old apartment, remember?
Yes.
And then we never did. That was 6 years ago. 6 years ago, we were on the brink of starting this, and didn't. But
it was fun, Zach.
that's all I got, folks. We're gonna try to get this out tonight. So that's it. Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Like
and subscribe.
All right.
See you guys.
Till next time. See ya.